You used to say that when you were playing your Samantha Fox strip game as well. Hello and welcome to Everything's Fine, probably your weekly antidote to bad news, the podcast equivalent to putting your fingers in your ears and humming while the world tries to set itself on fire. I'm Jim, and joining me as ever are Gemma, Shelley and Stuart, here to sift through the chaos and find the rare glittering nuggets of quite nice, buried beneath the usual avalanche of doom. And speaking of unlikely attempts to fix things, this week King Charles has been in America to rebuild relationships, a job that he is uniquely qualified to do. This is a man who has spent decades doing delicate diplomacy with his own family. If you can survive Christmas dinner with the artist formerly known as Prince Andrew, you can probably handle anything the US throws at you. Trade negotiations? Easy. Political tensions? Child's play. Awkward small talk with deeply problematic individuals? The guy's basically got a PhD. Just don't mention Jeffrey, everything will be okay. Seriously though, who is better equipped to talk to Trump than the man who nods, smiles, says, "How fascinating," a lot, and then just moves down the line? Trump, of course, continues to exist, as apparently the only people in the US less competent than him are the people trying to shoot him. Meanwhile, back here in the UK, Keir Starmer is reportedly under pressure as the country once again flirts with the idea of sacking another Prime Minister. That would be our fifth in just 7 years. At some point, being Prime Minister changed from being a position of power into a short-term work experience placement. Honestly, number 10 now operates like a mid-table Premier League club. We thank him for his service, but results haven't been good enough, and we wish him well in his future endeavours. We're one bad week away from a caretaker PM and Sam Allardyce being spotted outside number 10, while Starmer heads off to try and rescue Spurs. And somewhere in the background, Nigel Farage is lurking like a substitute no one asked for, already warming up on the touchline, pint in hand, ready to come on and immediately make everything worse. But don't worry, because we're not here to wallow in that. Oh no. We're here to bring you the good news, the weird news, the kind of stories that make you think that maybe humanity isn't completely doomed, just mostly. So settle in, lower your expectations, and let us gently convince you that everything's fine. Probably. And if we can't do that, we'll just point and laugh at it until you feel a bit better. Let's bring in the others, shall we? How are we this week, team?
It's all good, isn't it? Yeah. How are you, Gemma? Had a good week. How's Anglia Square going? Have you still been inhaling lots of dust?
I am still inhaling quite a lot of dust. The cinema is now very nearly gone. The
Oh,
pile of rubble from said cinema and car park is now, you can see it over the top of the barriers. There's a lot of rubble. I want to know where it goes.
Well, I guess a lot of it will be used as hardcore for the new development.
You'd hope so, right?
That was a very sensible answer.
It was very sensible. You're
Yeah.
very quick.
maybe they'll dig another hole to bury all the rubble.
Well, they put the soil.
Exactly.
Can I tell you, though? Can I tell you my exciting news?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So I found out that I have a cupboard
Yes.
that I didn't know I had. I've discovered like a
Oh.
whole cupboard, and it's a big cupboard, like you can walk into it, and I didn't know that I had it.
How did you
That's my
not know that you had it? How?
I know. That's
Had someone
I've lived
wallpapered over the door or something?
I've lived here for a year and a half.
Mm.
I didn't know I had this cupboard.
Wow.
So,
Well,
it's actually just outside my flat. It
so
is.
you know it was there, but you didn't know it was yours.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a cleaning cupboard, like that belonged to the building. There was a cupboard that was just slightly open ajar in the hallway next door to my neighbour's flat. Hang on a minute, they've got like a little outdoor kind of cupboard thing next to their flat. On my bunch of keys, there's lots of keys that I didn't know what they were for. So I got one of the keys.
See where we're
that
going
like,
with this, can't you?
yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and like the key fit the lock and it opened. And
Yeah.
I've got this like massive cupboard that's got like window in it and everything.
Yeah.
So are you going to move in there and the cats are going to have the flat?
I don't know. I felt like I discovered Narnia. I felt like I went to Narnia. And my cupboard, it comes with a mop, a bucket, and a little tiny step ladder.
Winning.
It's hardly Narnia, is it? Are you all right, Shelley?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
You,
really
you,
happy.
no, just checking. You okay? Have you seen anyone recently?
I still go to work.
Okay, let's get started, shall we?
What a week.
What a way.
Some
Well,
people are just a bit
if
jealous.
anyone's still listening, let's get going on this roller coaster of
What a week.
like it is.
Do you want to just jump in there, Gemma? You got any cupboard news at all?
I have nothing.
No, you've got no
Sorry,
cupboard news.
has that ever happened to anyone before? Have you ever
What?
discovered a cupboard that you didn't know you had after living somewhere for a year and a half?
If
I
you
think
have,
that's
please drop it in the comment.
Yeah.
Get in touch on the
Like,
social.
yeah.
We'd love to hear your cupboard related stories.
Hashtag mystery cupboard.
Hashtag mystery cupboard. There we go.
Mm.
We are getting started now. Look, there are no coherent themes to our stories this week, so we'll just jump from one thing to another with all the logic of a presidential speech. I'd like to start with some wildlife stories. I think they're always good. Stu, can we come to you first, please?
That caught me by surprise. What have you introduced it?
I'd like to start with some wildlife stories. I think they're always
Yeah.
good. Stu, can we come to you first, please?
Or
Okay.
was it here's some animal story by this called Stu?
that cupboard's done something to her, isn't it?
She found in that cupboard,
Yeah.
but she's feisty.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't think she liked you obviously dissing her cupboard story.
Well, I think what it was the thumbs up the other day. Did you see the thumbs up
I did.
interaction?
She didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm still really pissed off about losing that argument.
Yeah, well,
Really,
I had plenty of time that day, so
That's what happened, maybe have.
I was determined.
Yeah, you really
Phone later,
did.
it was about 40 WhatsApp messages. What the hell?
I was stumped, Stu. I was absolutely stumped. I did not know how to win that situation.
Well,
I
I'm tenacious. I could keep on going.
Anyway, I'd like to start with some wildlife stories, I think. They're always good.
Okay.
Stu, can we come to you first, please?
You can. We're going to go to the reserves of Rajasthan tonight.
This isn't one of your pod outing ideas.
We're not going. I've actually been there, so we're going to the wildebeest crossings of Kenya, where we're seeing a global shift. What we're seeing in this story is a move away from documenting nature and more of a trend back to experiencing it in the flesh. Okay, so recently India's Supreme Court, they've taken a bold stand by banning mobile phones in cool tiger zones. Has anyone been on a safari? You have? Where was that? In Kenya, Africa, or something like that? Or Whitney?
What's that, Longleat Way?
What's that, Longleat?
Mum used to work at Whipsnade on the
she?
and yeah, when she was really, really young, and it was her job to if monkeys, she had to work in the monkey bit, like when they climb on the cars. If they got too much, she had to push the monkeys off people's cars with a broom.
Was that a job type?
Yeah, yeah. But she hated it. Like the monkeys were always overpowering her and stealing the broom.
I mean, what a job that. I mean, she didn't really like it as well. I bet she woke up in the morning thinking, "Oh my God,
yeah,
I've got to go and like push all the." And she's probably a bit scared of them as well.
Yeah. Pick up her broom in the morning to think, how has this happened? How have I ended up doing this?
I mean, yeah, what a job to end up.
Especially, didn't she? But she'd never applied for that, surely. Just imagine the job interview. Yeah. What makes you qualified for the role of pushing monkeys off cars?
Well, I can't imagine you need lots of qualifications to do that in the 70s.
These days, you couldn't push monkeys off cars with a broom. I mean, that would be deemed as cruel. But what a job, hey? I'd love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Getting paid for that. Let's get your mum on. I mean, that's a show and a half, isn't it?
Did your mum have a particularly big cupboard for keeping her brooms in that was maybe a bit different?
So the reason the Supreme Court have taken this decision, like that handbrake turn there.
Yeah, what did say? Just remind people what decision it was again, because we probably all forgot what the story is.
Recently, India's Supreme Court have taken a bold stand banning mobile
phones
in cool tiger zones. The reason is because on certain safaris they're getting traffic jams and safari jams where drivers of the safaris, they're all working out where the tigers are. They're all stopping in the same place. and then all the tourists are getting the phones out and filming everything. But as a result of this, is making the tigers anxious. That's upsetting their breeding, where they go to look after their cubs and feed and so on. This is now in place. Tigers can now hunt and move without the tourists encroaching on their space. There are 3,600 wild tigers currently in India, and the conservationists say they're kind of killing their own tourism, aren't they? Because, you know, if the tigers start to decline or get anxious or stop breeding, then they're going to lose all that money from tourism. The disturbances are upsetting all the wildlife, and as a result of this, what they're now looking to do is control the amount of traffic through these so-called safaris. What people are now going to have to get used to is slow travel. So they're going to have to take their time. They're going to have to stagger these safaris, and they're also going to look at outlawing nighttime safaris as well. Again, that's not fair on the animals. They might want to sleep or relax and so on, affecting their natural rhythms. So this is coming in this month, and I think we find this with many things now in life. Can we just enjoy the moment, or do we need to capture everything?
Evidence that we were there.
Well, I think that's exactly it, isn't it? I think that's a really good, bold move by the Indian government sort of to do that. And how often really when you evidence these wonderful moments we have in life, do you actually go back and watch these?
So Stu, we went to the rugby Saturday.
Yeah.
You took a lot of photos.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Do you tend to look back on those often?
I probably would do perhaps the next day and then not.
We all look at them the one I got of you, I kept it and I've put it into a heart-shaped frame.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course.
That's of you, Stu, and your dad. I thought that's beautiful, that is.
It is a beautiful, beautiful photo.
I mean,
beautiful moment.
That's the lads. Considering
the youngest one amongst us is 51, I'm not really sure that the lads is quite right. More like last of the summer wine. Let's move from technology, which isn't great for wildlife, to technology which is inadvertently helping it.
I take it you mean me, Timothy.
I do.
Okay. You're not saying very much tonight. I feel like
he's not giving us an in, is he? He's making us work hard
this evening, but it's okay. I knew you meant me, so I'm all right with it.
I'm keeping it tight, keeping it slick.
He's keeping it tight lines.
Yeah. It's just I'm going to nod at you, and then if you could just hurry up and get on with your story, that would be good. Thank you.
Are you on a promise tonight, Jim?
On a promise.
No, he just needs a poo.
I mean, he's been together quite a long time. I don't know if that's still right.
We're pushing the beds together tonight.
At my time of life.
He'll go in later. Go, that promise. Do I have to? I feel a bit tired.
Can we take a ranger?
So yes, he does mean you.
Yes. Okay. Well. Okay.
So anyway, get on with your story.
Oh, okay.
You.
Thank you. Anyway, imagine.
Oh, what? Okay. All right. Hang on.
If you don't mind, just
hang on.
Please, just take the time. Just a moment. Just humour me.
All right. Tell us what to imagine, and we'll do it.
Imagine you are living in a lovely little cottage in the countryside that has views of beautiful green rolling hills and fields. You look like you're imagining really hard.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't like it so far. It's raining.
Really?
Yeah.
It's lovely and sunny where mine.
Oh, it's raining.
Just having a good look around.
Yeah, everything's gone wrong again.
Look and see if there's anything happened.
Yeah.
Okay, you've possibly paid a premium price to live there. So how would you feel if your beautiful green fields were turned into a solar farm and your view turned into reflective glass and metal?
Well, do you own the field?
No, it's your view. It's just your view.
Well, I should imagine you'd need some sunglasses, right?
That's as strong as your feelings are on it. You clearly are. I mean, I kind of expected like there to be sort of a level of nonplussed about this. What do you think, Gemma?
I can understand why that would be perhaps a little irksome.
Glaring.
Yeah,
Glaring.
glaring.
Glaring. It's not what you paid for, is it? It's not.
It's
It
not what you
wasn't.
paid for, but
If I'd have bought a premium cottage in the countryside, idyllic, and then you think this is amazing, and then all of a sudden you've got these solar panels everywhere, I think you're going to be pissed off. Be really
Yeah,
quite
probably.
annoyed, probably quite upset. That's your environment. The locals are probably telling you, oh, you shut up. It's green energy. Get with it. And you're like, well, hang on. Let's put it in your backyard then. See how you
Yeah,
like.
I think there
I
is.
guess that's where you would think, isn't it?
The
There,
NIMBYs.
there is.
Mm. So
There
what's
is
that, Jim? The
that.
The
NIMBYs?
NIMBYs.
What's that? Not
Not in my backyard.
yeah. So they're
Yeah.
not in my back. But I think we'd all think that a little bit. We like the idea of it, but I think if it's actually in your backyard, I think I'd probably be pretty fed up.
Yeah, so overall public opinion of solar farms is actually quite positive. I think, yeah, the like about 81% of people express support for local projects, according to a government survey. But as you're saying, like there's people who don't feel so happy about it because they are concerned about the impact on the landscape. So yeah, that's the concerns that come out of it. However, there has been some further interesting studies about what's going on in these solar panel farms that I think might help people to change their mind and their opinion on them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a habitat study done in the UK, and that's reported that well-managed solar farms are becoming important habitats for wildlife due to the fact that once the panels are put in place, the surrounding land is left quite undisturbed. Like people do just leave these fields alone once they've been put in place. So in the UK, they found that there's a lot of hedgerow wildlife that are actually moving in. And there's an increase in wildflowers in these areas that attract bees and butterflies, because we only like insects that are cute and pretty. So they're okay. If there might be spiders, though, I would warn. There's probably spiders. So also small mammals have been moving into the vegetation beneath the panels. So yeah, lots of vegetation is actually just growing wild underneath them. And it sort of provides, the panel itself is then also providing some protection from the elements. So they've kind of got a little roof over their heads, which I thought is pretty cute. Then due to the increase of insects in the areas, it's actually become they become hunting grounds for bats, which are often endangered, aren't they? Bats, they struggle, they struggle with survival in sort of the modern world, don't they? And birds of prey as well are also attracted to the little mice of Brambley solar panel. So that's a lot of good wildlife going on there in the UK area. Also, the RSPB report, they reported that farms have boosted bird numbers. And there was a study that was done in East Anglia that said there were nearly 3 times as many birds as on solar panel farms as on normal arable farming land. This is quite significant, really. But it's not just in the UK as well. There's been other places in the world that's popped up. So California, in California Central Valley, there is a fox called the San Joaquin kit fox, and it's pretty cute. It's quite a pretty fox. These foxes have kind of moved in and they've like made so the well no currently at the moment the fox has had a rapid decline in numbers. It's actually become endangered because of because of the development in its habitat, and because it's sort of quite a small fox as well, it is prey to bigger predators, and so it has to move around constantly. They can't settle in one place, and they have lots of dens in large areas so they can keep moving all the time. In the solar farms, they've actually been able to move in and just stay there and settle. And because another one of the reasons was that because they have like fencing around them, bigger predators can't get in. So it's kind of like a little safe community for the foxes. And also in Australia, There are millions of birds that are surviving under the panels in their outback in the deserts that were otherwise dying from extreme heat. So it's actually doing wonders for animals, and
Yeah.
they're all very much very, very happy with
Yeah.
these solar farms. I mean, the only negative feedback from the animals and insects have been is that they all feel that your cottage on the hill is actually a bit of an eyesore and want it knocked down.
Yeah, but for the people living there, it's a real thing, isn't it? You know, they're going to lose value in their house. Did you know Europe is now heating up faster than any other continent due to global warming?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the reason is apparently is because in the Arctic last year they had 3 weeks of 30 degrees, which they've never had before.
Wow, that's very early in the year as well.
Yeah, well, they've never had 30 degrees temperature, but because Europe is closer, we're warming up as well. So
Mm.
we're getting hotter, we're getting more sun. And the other reason apparently is because we're cleaning our air up, getting more fumes and pollution, we're getting less clouds as a result. So we're not getting the cloud cover. So we're getting more cloudless days and more sun. So it's heating up. As a result of that, we're getting more sun. So on the flip side, we're getting more renewables, but on the other side, we are heating up the planet,
Global heat death.
and we're turning places like Spain into desert with sort of wildfires and that kind of thing, and obviously the seas rising. So I think it's good to have the solar panels, and it's interesting, isn't it, how the animals and insects are now adapting to the new habitat as well, which they do. Because these areas now aren't for the sort of pesticides and so on, which makes it an alien place for them to live. So that's encouraging. And there's a similar example in Chernobyl when everyone left, and even now there's areas where there are no-go zones. The wildlife is flourishing.
Yeah, just loads of radioactive
Well,
wildlife.
that's interesting because they've been studying the animals and the wildlife, and they've adapted to the higher radiation, and it hasn't actually affected them that dramatically. So now they're looking, I was listening the other day, the scientists were saying it could be that we could learn to adapt and live in those places. And it doesn't necessarily mean if you live there, you're more likely or less likely to get cancer than you would or would not, before the accident.
But I guess we're all going to have to get a lot of cancer, aren't we, before
Well,
we
well,
actually
well,
adapt to it?
exactly. But
Mm.
I think what the good message there is, isn't it? Is we're getting the benefit of the renewable. Animals and wildlife can adapt, but the person in their premium cottage is screwed. It is good news because I think what it does show is humanity and wildlife. We adapt. We adapt. So that's a good story.
Good.
Thank you.
So, while you're updating us on wildlife development, Shelley, any developments in the search for Samba the capybara?
No, I really don't think it's looking good at all. And yeah, there's been absolutely no sign of her. And also, someone stole all the trap cameras as well. Okay, let's not talk about Samba anymore.
Stories from previous shows. Did anyone see the latest blow to Saudi sports washing?
Yeah, brilliant news. What, on the snooker?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters, the latest event to be cancelled after only 2 editions.
Yeah.
Despite offering stupid money in the proud tradition of Saudi Arabia's sporting heritage,
Mm.
World Snooker have said they're done with that.
I mean, who wants to play and watch snooker in the desert?
Absolutely.
Absolutely no one. Get sand everywhere, don't you? That's for sure. Why would you go and sit in an air-conditioned hotel in the middle of a desert, fly everyone out there with all those, air miles and so on to watch a game of snooker? Insane. So I think that's great. So that's a good win for the sport washing backlash.
Let's move on. Can I just check? How do we all feel about blindness?
I think there's a lot we don't understand about it, for one.
Okay.
There's different levels of blindness, isn't there?
There are many different types of
There's different
vision
levels
impairment.
Yeah, most people aren't actually completely blind, but they do. Obviously, they're like an impairment that makes it, well, obviously very hard to get around in, down a busy street and things. So
I mean, I think, if you were blind, I think it would be a challenge. It'd be difficult for sure. I'm glad I'm not. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So there's one. I think we agree. It's not great,
No,
right? Is it?
no.
You say it's not great. That said, I work with a young man who has been blind since birth, and he's been asked, not by myself, but by other people, if he could see, would he want to see? And he personally wouldn't.
First up, Algeria has officially eliminated trachoma, the world's leading cause of infectious blindness. I was really surprised to hear that because
Brilliant.
to me that's one of those diseases that just sounds medieval.
Mm.
It spreads through dirty water, poor sanitation, flies landing on your face, the sort of thing you'd expect to hear about in a Dickens novel, not a modern health report. Did anybody have fly-based eye disease eradication on their 2026 bingo card?
No, I didn't see that one. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah.
That's a good one. I think I did end up seeing it on the World Health Organization page.
So whenever we get these breakthrough stories, and when you look at what's been done, it's often just really basic, sensible things. And guess what? This was solved by clean water, basic hygiene, school health programs, and access to eye care. Now, I'm not saying these things are straightforward all around the world, but given humanity has built apps that turn your face into a Victorian child for fun, I feel we could also sort out flies not living in people's eyelids if we really committed to. This didn't take a pack of geniuses or tech billionaires or apps or subscription models or any of this. It just took people to make things better, which, as we've established on this show, is not always the default global strategy. Then we jump from that to something that sounds like actual wizardry. A 6-year-old girl right here in the UK has had her sight restored through gene therapy.
Cool.
She had a rare condition called Leber's congenital amaurosis, which basically means you're born with severely limited vision and it gets worse over time.
Yeah.
Now after treatment she can see in the dark. That's incredible. I'm a little bit concerning. That's the first step to becoming a superhero. If in 10 years there's a mysterious figure solving crimes in Croydon using echolocation, a strong sense of justice, then we'll know where it all began. It's not going to happen though, is it? We've gone past the 40th anniversary of Chernobyl disaster, still no superheroes, so what are you going to do? Back to this treatment. It's called Luxturna, works by literally correcting the faulty gene in the eye, so there's no need to manage the condition, slow it down, straight to fix. 20 years ago, that would have been described as medically impossible. Now you can get it on the NHS if you can get an appointment. So look, we've got countries eliminating diseases with public health, scientists rewriting genetics like it's a slightly buggy Word document, which goes to show yet again, if we decide to fix problems, we quite often can. Some of them take incredibly clever science, some of them just take giving poorer countries access to things that richer countries take for granted. So, maybe we could just do more of that. Might make us both physically and mentally better, wouldn't it?
Great story from Algeria. That's good news that people aren't going to go blind when it could be avoided. Yeah. Great bit of science news there.
You all like a cup of coffee, right?
Love a cup of coffee.
Yes, please.
Then I have got some genuinely good news for you.
You don't like coffee?
No, I do not.
What do you call it? Is that the devil's semen, I think you call it?
I might have called it that.
Yeah, the devil's semen.
I don't like it. Let's put it that way.
I think I like the devil even more
but
now.
The good news is for you, because being the selfless kind of guy I am, I like to bring stuff that means nothing to me. A major study has found that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day is linked to better mental health. So hopefully you're all thriving on your coffee intake.
How do you think I'm doing?
Well, I'm not sure. I think you might be going over the 2 to 3 cups a day, and therefore maybe you're not getting the benefit. But look, this is a proper study. 460,000 people studied over a period of 13 years. So it is not just the opinion of some wired scientists from the University of Bath. It's actual proper science. The findings are quite specific, and I do need to be very clear here. The message is not drink loads of coffee. It's have a couple and don't be weird about it. 2 to 3 cups a day seems to be that Goldilocks sweet spot. Too little, no benefit. Too much, also no benefit. So if you are necking 6 espressos a day and thinking you're winning at mental health, well, no, I'm afraid not. You're probably more of a sweaty, vibrating, sleep-deprived mess. Have any of you crossed that line from being alert to technically being a hummingbird?
Yes.
Many times.
Yeah, I think
Many
I did
times.
it just yesterday, actually.
Yeah. and the crash is horrible, isn't it? The crash when you go down the other side is not nice. Yeah.
My daughter's English teacher, I've met at parents' evenings. He drinks about, I think she's about 8 to 9 cups of coffee a day,
wow.
and you can tell when you meet him.
That's too much. That's too much.
Sit in the eyes, the sweat on the brow, all that. That is a very wired guy.
How many do you have, everyone? How many do you have, Gemma, a day? Would you say 2 or 3?
When I'm drinking coffee, I do drink quite a lot of coffee. However, I have my coffee so weak that I'm not sure we can actually count it as coffee.
Okay.
I have like less than a quarter of a teaspoon, sort of weak, generally.
Shelley?
It depends what I'm doing. If I'm really, really busy, then it's probably about 2 cups. But if I've got a bit more time, then usually about 4.
Okay, so you're occasionally straying outside of the bracket. How about you, Stu?
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
But only good stuff. Only gourmet coffee.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I had 5 yesterday.
I like that with crimson dessert. Yeah.
Do you like it with condensed milk?
Don't go there again.
Let's talk about where the benefits come from here, shall we? It's apparently from caffeine reducing inflammation and affecting brain chemistry. Or it could be, and hear me out on this, could it be because coffee actually gives you this reason to stop everything, just be still for a while and not look at your phone for 5 minutes?
Well, no, because I will look at my phone if I have coffee.
Of course you will. And actually, I was going to ask on that note, how are we doing in quitting our phones?
Still all right on meals.
Yep.
It's just the morning one, really. It's the morning one.
I'm still getting nowhere with the morning.
I've quitting my phone. I'm weak.
You've quitting your phone.
Yeah, I've got an addictive personality.
Yeah.
So
right, there you get addicted to quitting your phone.
I'm not quitting the one in the evening. I'm not doing so much now, which is better. So that's quite good. I'm just sort of listening to my Audible books now instead of like scrolling through. So, but I think it's the morning one because I just like I know the news and see what Don's up to.
FOMO.
Yeah. What about you, Gemma? Have you succeeded this week?
Not good. I'm like you. Meals is fine.
Yeah.
But, I've yet to give up that first look in the morning.
Yeah. Jim, same.
Yeah, that's when I struggle most. Before bed's not been too bad. Meals, fine, but it's tricky.
Well, that's good. At least we've done something, haven't we?
We have.
At least we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
So
keeping your conscious thoughts. Okay, let's go back to the world of coffee. Interesting aside on this one, the effect was stronger in men. So maybe Costa are the UK's unofficial mental health service.
Oh.
That's about all we've got.
It's rarer to hear someone say they're struggling and need support than to hear them say they need a coffee. So that's it. That's the intervention. Worth considering for you. Hopeless for me because, as we said, I don't drink coffee because I think it's gross. But I like this story anyway, being the selfless fellow I am. I like the ones that tell us that you don't have to overhaul your life to have better mental health. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m., run 10K and eat kale. You just have to moderate the thing you're probably already doing to cope. But then we can't moderate our screen lives, so how are you going to moderate your coffee intake?
I mean, that's surprising that's not more widely known with the mental health explosion. So can we give out prescriptions of a couple of coffees a day?
Maybe.
To people?
Maybe that's why my mental health is so terrible, because I just don't drink coffee.
It actually reduces inflammation, is that what it says?
It suggests so.
Yeah, because inflammation is probably the thing behind most illnesses, isn't it, Shelley? Inflammation's bad, right?
Well, the inflammation is usually the secondary sort of thing that happens if you get unwell.
If you can reduce inflammation, that's got to be good for your well-being, right?
Jim, can you eat Revels?
Sorry?
Can you eat Revels?
Can I eat Revels?
Yeah, can you? Go on.
Yeah.
Well, not right now because I haven't got any.
Yeah, but do you like Revels?
Well, the trouble with Revels is the coffee flavoured ones.
Oh, right, okay. I was just wondering if you're all right with like coffee flavour.
No, I just don't like the flavour of coffee at all.
I see all the little ones, the little balls that have got the coffee and the orange in them. They're my favourites.
What's that really chewy one that catches you out and you break your teeth?
Oh, there's caramel.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
It's like toffee, really. They're like toffee poppets.
That's a nightmare, that one.
I like all of them.
Yeah.
There's one thing I've noticed. Next time you have a bag of Revels,
Yes.
I guarantee the first one you'll eat will be a Malteser.
You're going to guarantee that, are you?
Yeah, it's always the first one you have. It's always a Malteser.
Oh.
Science everywhere. Now, look, there are other coping strategies available if coffee's not for you.
Yeah,
And
Revels.
unlike Revels for a start, and unlike the coffee market, they don't have to cost you money and they won't sting your teeth. Gemma's going to tell us about one of them now, I believe.
In a world where everything seems to be speeding up, our feeds, our commutes, even our conversations, there's one place where time still has the power to stretch: the art gallery. Or at least it could if we let it. Because here's the surprising truth: most people spend just a few seconds actually looking at an artwork. Studies show that gallery goers often give a piece under 30 seconds, sometimes as little as 3 seconds of real attention. And yet, art was never designed for speed. It was designed for presence. Today, we're diving into the gentle, restorative practice of slow looking, a way of engaging with art that's less about rushing and more about rediscovering how to truly see. Slow looking is simple. You choose one artwork, put your phone away, and give it time. Not expert knowledge, not analysis, just time. Museums like Tate describe it as allowing yourself to make your own discoveries, noticing colours, textures, tiny details that only emerge when you linger. And something remarkable happens when you do. At first, you see the obvious, the big shapes, the bold colours, but stay a little longer and subtler things begin to surface. The way light shifts across a brushstroke, the mood hidden in a shadow, the emotional tug you didn't realise was there. Researchers and educators note that this deeper engagement strengthens attention, sparks curiosity, and even supports well-being. It's not about getting the art, it's about letting the artwork meet you where you are. Take the example of James Dixon. And I know the word is Innes because it's like the John Innes Centre, and yet I see that and I'm like, oh.
Is that the emotional tug?
Yes, that is the emotional tug. Oh, and then I've got to work out what the next
We've all
word
been
is.
there, haven't we, Jim?
Right, take the example of James Dixon Innes's Aranig, North Wales.
Okay.
A painting that, at first glance, is all blazing orange mountain and violet cloud. But give it time and more emerges. The shimmer of water, the quiet drama of the ridge, the emotional temperature of the scene shifting as your eyes adjust. That's the magic slow looking unlocks, the sense that the painting is still unfolding, still offering something new. And this isn't just poetic, it's practical. Slow looking is part of a wider slow movement that encourages us to savour experiences rather than skim them. In museums, it's been embraced through slow art day events and guided sessions that in
You're
museums.
okay.
Yeah, boy. In museums, it's been embraced.
Johnson Revels.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know that I like any of the Revels, if I'm honest.
Oh, they're great. Revels
Are
are
they?
fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on.
I love
I like the
Revels.
raisins, at which point I might as well just get a packet of chocolate
Yeah.
Oh,
raisins.
I like all of them. They're great.
Do you sometimes tip them all in your mouth and get them all and then just go, oh my God, this
No,
is
no,
amazing.
no. I
No.
like them all individually.
You should
I like to try and leave the little cream ones to the end. So sometimes I actually just nibble a little bit of chocolate just to make a little window so I can see what's inside.
you should try the cacophony of all at once, honestly. That is a taste sensation.
No, I feel like it's just going to waste a load of Revels.
Sounds like hell.
I'm going to need a lot more Revels to do that. Like I'm going to need a separate bag.
It's as good as a crimson dessert.
I'm starting to feel like tonight is never going to end. Just put that out there. Is there any chance we can get back to this?
Yeah, we'll just give Gemma a little break.
In museums, it's been embraced through slow art day events and guided sessions that invite people to spend extended time with a single piece. The result? Visitors report feeling calmer, more connected, and more creatively engaged. Because when we slow down, our minds slow down with us. We shift from scanning to noticing, from consuming to connecting. We start to feel rather than evaluate. And in that shift, art becomes less of an object and more of a conversation. Slow looking isn't about being an expert, it's about being present. So next time you're in a gallery, try choosing just one artwork, stand with it, breathe. Let your eyes wander, let your thoughts meander, give yourself permission to stay. You might be surprised by what you see and by how you feel. In a fast world, slow looking is a tiny act of rebellion and a generous act of care for your own attention. Here's to seeing more by slowing down.
I think I definitely am not very good at looking at art. I really think that has made me think about it, because I think I kind of look at art like I'm going through like paint swatches or something.
But I have spent quite a lot of time wandering around Tate Modern, staring at each exhibit and going, "What the hell is that supposed to be?" I don't know if that's quite the same thing as you're talking about here.
Well, it is, because that's a reaction. It can be positive or negative. I like art. I like art galleries, and I will stand there and let it just wash over me, and just, what it is, whatever you want it to be. A lot of modern art. People say, "Oh, I could have done that," but the answer to that is, well, A, you didn't. B, you're not in the Tate Modern, and C, there's probably a backstory as to why they've done that. And people say, well, that's not art, but who gets to define what art is and what art isn't? So
I'm going to look at it differently now. I now have an urge to go to an art gallery.
I'm all for that, Gemma. I do that anyway, and that does makes you feel good. Get that cultural creative hit in this modern crazy world.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Gemma. Now, Stu's got one final story for us, and I haven't got a clue what it is. So let's see what happens next, shall we?
This is interesting. An unexpected economic surge in Russia. So I'm talking about mystical services and the occult retail sector.
Do we want the Russians getting into a cult?
Well, what we're seeing,
I think that would be more harmless, actually, than being
what we're seeing in Moscow is a literal magic moment. See what I did there? So while traditional markets are volatile, in Russia, according to recent data from the cash register operator, which are all aware of, ATOL, sales of protective amulets and crystal balls have more than doubled in the last year. We're seeing a total shift in all consumer behaviour relating to mystic products. So demand for aspen stakes, who knew? These are used for spiritual protection, have quadrupled. And it's not just back alley shops, apparently. High-end retail outlets like Moscow's Witch Store are reporting that items like black obsidian spheres literally flying off the shelves.
Literally. In an occult shop.
Okay,
that sounds terrifying.
Consumers are viewing these as essential safety assets. It's also moving into hospitality as well. There's a bar in Moscow. It's a voodoo-themed bar called Marie Laveau. The founder, Ms. Chazengard, says they've matched perfectly with the moment by integrating tarot readings with a premium bar experience. They've tapped into a zeitgeist where people want their social life to include a side of spiritual insight. It's the pivot in a high-stress economy. The state pollster, VTS-IOM, recently published a study showing that 85% of Russians have dabbled in magical practices. That's a massive market share. So they're looking at why they've got this spike. Poll calls it a tool of psychological defense. So when people face economic uncertainty or military threats, they look for a sense of control. In the business world, we call this a counter-cyclical industry. When things get tough, hope and protection becomes the most valued commodity on the market. So soldiers apparently on leave are seeking out high-profile practitioners in Russia. They aren't just looking for relationship advice, they're looking for a competitive edge, protection, faithfulness and peace of mind. The market is facing some hurdles. The Orthodox Church, they don't like it. Lawmakers, they don't like it, and they're pushing back.
Why don't lawmakers like it?
Because if you're putting laws in place and trying to keep people in control, and they're basically engaging in magic, then it's hard to control people then, isn't it? Because obviously they've got these rigid laws, and people are kind of looking at magic and almost living in their heads to escape the realities. So 50% of the population in Russia now, they believe they have the power to predict the future. This is up from 30% in 2019. So 50% of Russians now think they can predict the future.
It does make sense to me. Like, yeah, I can understand why people do that. If you're really desperate in some ways, you're going to actually think, I wish there was some kind of magic spell.
Do you think it's like a form of like just trying to take a bit of control in your life? Because, you know, for instance, in Russia, obviously the economy's tanking, isn't it? They're at war. It's tough. I suppose you probably get that in Iran as well, won't you? When times are difficult, people look to maybe escape, don't they? Mentally, creatively, that kind of thing. So,
but I think like a lot of those things, I mean, that was like like say like in Europe, Northern Europe, a lot of those kind of practices did used to be part of our culture, like before Christianity and everything. And everyone was really, and lots of those things, they make you really in touch with nature. Yeah, you're more like using things to do with the earth.
Yeah.
With those
I think,
things.
you know, I think when times are uncertain, then we do tend to look back. Like in this country, isn't there? There's a big increase in people looking at traditions, aren't there? Like Morris dancing and, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, that's, I don't want to look at that.
Yeah. But, you know,
Then we go back to before Morris dancing.
Yeah, and people are looking at druids, aren't they, and ancient stones. So I think there's a need almost, isn't there, to sort of connect to something, because when
we've had loads of our history like wiped, haven't we? Our ancient history from things like that, and because of things like, well, you know, okay, I'm not like bad-mouthing Christianity, but because Christianity pushed that stuff away, that's why we don't know what Stonehenge is for.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at this, it does go on to say, you know, it's fascinating how ancient traditions are effectively fueling a modern retail gold rush. Have you got any thoughts on, you know, mystical services or the occult retail? Is that something you would buy into?
I should have revealed the mood rings this week.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? We know Shelley is basically a witch. Yeah. She has her mood ring.
Yeah.
And she has no way of knowing what mood she's in.
Oh, hang on, I did have it on, but it was annoying me.
Oh, so did it do the annoyed colour?
Yeah. Yeah, it went to that romantic blue again, and I felt uncomfortable.
Not again.
I thought I can't cope with this. I can't cope with my true feelings coming out through this ring all the time.
Right, that's about all we've got time and patience for this week. So as always, if you've enjoyed the show, please do like, subscribe, follow, leave a review. You know, all the things you absolutely won't do. That's fine, honestly, we've made our peace with it. Somewhere out there is a listener who's been with us for 53 episodes who thinks, I really enjoy this every single week.
Is that guy from Vietnam?
Could be, but still doesn't lift a finger to acknowledge it. Sort of silent, benevolent ghost. We see you. No, actually, it's kind of the problem. So apparently leaving a review helps people find the podcast, which would be great because at the moment the algorithm treats us like we've said something bad about its mother. Just a quick 5 stars, a comment, something like, this helped me forget the news exists for an hour. That's all we're after. Don't even have to mean it. We're not checking. We're too busy just refreshing the numbers and sighing. If you don't want to do that, you can always just tell a friend. Just casually slip it into conversation. Oh, you like nice things, do you? Try this podcast. It's like Optimism, but with swearing. Or don't. Again, we're used to it. It's fine. We'll be back again next week with more good news, more bad jokes, more increasingly desperate attempts to convince you to click a button. Until then, remember, everything's fine. Probably. Oh, and as always, a heartfelt and deeply sincere no thank you to Donald Trump and Nigel Farage. You know what you did.